This is an 18 USC Section 4 notification of multiple felonies, now greater than the number 22 of them that are written in the place I will be showing you, to Goldsboro Police Chief, Goldsboro, North Carolina Police Chief Mike West. Some of these felonies include those done by the police force of Mike West. Read the section. I'm supposed to quickly notify a judge. I did. A civil or a person in civil or military authority. I did. The FBI Greenville office and various other people, including military authorities, who all have decided they don't want to live up to the law, and they can tell by the very words that aren't there that they don't have to. The words that are there imply that the authorities, of course, will do their job under the U.S. Constitution. It turns out that we have scofflaws in positions real high. You are one of them. You covered up for an obstruction by your 5 police officers standing on the steps in a line, preventing a citizen, me, from reporting an officer as to what misconduct he had done. They knew I was coming, and you allowed 3 SWAT team looking officers, a sergeant and one other officer. I think the sergeant may have been one of the SWAT team, now that I think of it. So 2 others in addition to the 3 SWAT team to block me for 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how long. They would not let me inside the police station. You are the police chief who has kept a citizen from going into the police station, the only one in the nation. You are corrupt, sir. Just by your cover-up of that, I hand-delivered letters to the police chief, and they got ignored. And I realized if I wanted to continue living in this community, I had to stop and desist, because I was fully intimidated, and I am now, and that's why you come last, even though you should have been first. Had you been a lawful police department, I would have done so. So what's the part that's important, salient about your thing? On April 15th, your police officer, Canine Officer Harrison, confirmed that a man who had broken into our home while my best friend was in the hospital, her evil son, who wants her dead, he broke into the home with a crowbar. He lives in Virginia. He was never allowed a key to the house, and the officer took the position that the crowbar was good enough, and that despite the fact he was never allowed to reside in the house for many years, a decade almost, he's never lived there, that he was now in charge of the house, and I was not allowed to put a felony charge against him for breaking and entering. Well, I put a charge against both the officer and the man for more than breaking and entering. All my property was taken. It's gone. I have yet to replace my Medicaid card. It's very hard for them to be obtained from whoever the Medicaid issuer are. I haven't gotten my food stamp card. It's now many weeks, and I haven't gotten it. But that's not here nor there. This Virginia man knew that he could do it because the person who is now an elder cleanser of Henny Carlisle, the owner of the house, has consigned her to death in a deep coma. Rather than allowing her to have a morphine drip, he refused to allow her to have a second chemo, even though the first chemo, done when she was in complete liver failure, reversed that. Sir, you are part of a murder scheme, and since she hopefully is still alive, if you do nothing, you will be a full-fledged accomplice to the ongoing murder. And so you have a duty to actually properly do this. And I think the only way you can properly do this is to bring in the State Bureau of Investigation to get with me and to organize how to rescue her and to do that today. But also, that comes first. And then when we get her rescued and detoxed and treated with chemo outside of the perimeter of UNC hospitals, they are part of the problem here in Goldsboro, and they may be part of the problem throughout the state. It's hard to know. So we can take Mrs. Carlisle, who has ample insurance, 100%, never pays much of anything, to outside UNC. ECU is right there at Vidant Hospital in Greenville. So that will be part of it. But you will determine how you want to go about it, how your force will be able to get Mrs. Carlisle a chance at life rather than being having a death edict by a man who was already identified as an elder cleanser. I have failed with everybody else. Perhaps you'll want to save yourself from a possible murder charge for what I have allowed your police department to become a lawless entity. Two of the officers involved in the blocking of me, they were both sergeants back in 2015, August. You remember the letter I delivered to you. It may have had actually the prior police chief's name on it, but it was to the police chief. Those two officers are now captains. It is obscene that everybody who got involved in it, particularly the sergeant who organized it, got promoted to captain. Well, not those two got promoted to captain. Two sergeants are now captain. You are already part of the problem. Are you going to be part of the solution to prevent murder charges against a bunch of people, including some of your police force? I will have to take the risk of meeting with SBI, but I will not meet in your police station. You will have to come arrest me. I know you to be corrupt. So if you desire to arrest me, I will stay in my home. I will not come out because I've done nothing wrong other than report a felony. But you guys are beyond the pale of America. You belong somewhere in the gutter. But here's your chance. Contact the SBI. They're supposed to assist you. Well, this time they got to take over the case. Your police force is so terribly involved in this, hopefully, future murder that may be able to be stopped. If she's already dead, different story. You still got major problems, and your entire department needs to be investigated. I know there are some good cops, but you have a corrupt vein in your department that goes all the way to you, sir. All the way to you. So govern yourself accordingly and consider getting the SBI out for the correction of you turning over Mrs. Carlisle's house to her monster of a son, and he's a part of the conspiracy to murder her by using a doctor's decisions who had already harmed her to not allow her the second chemo. She did not get it. She's probably going to die if you don't move. She probably may have died already and has been buried secretly without obituary. I won't know until the facts come out. It's your one chance, but you can do nothing, and you will then be a part of the murder if she's still alive. Your choice.